Story Tyrant here. Mystery or thriller? What are you writing? A mystery is a puzzle. A thriller is a nightmare. From the point of view of the protagonist, the main character, your POV character, that's point of view character, these are all the same person. Hero protagonist is literally the victim of the circumstances. Mystery is referred to often as a myth, whereas a thriller is referred to as a fairy tale when you discuss its makeup. In a mystery, your detective has skills. It doesn't matter if it's an individual who's been trained as a police officer or investigator for anything from Interpol to the RCMP to FBI to a coroner, or a streetwise detective, right across to a complete amateur sleuth. They always have skills that they bring to bear on the case. In a thriller, your hero protagonist has to learn skills in order to survive, has to develop skills they may have in order to survive. They're thrown in the deep end. A mystery is about thinking, it's about the intellect, it's about, again, the puzzle. How do you solve the puzzle? A thriller is a nightmare. It's about the emotional hit, the fear, the literally being pursued. In a mystery, most of the action, or often the inciting incident, will occur off stage. What I mean by that is Miss Marple comes to town, discovers there's a body. So-and-so has been killed and their body was found in the living room. Or Marlowe was killed. He was his partner in the deep dark city. Basically, your detective, professional to amateur, stumbles across the body or comes on the scene after the person has been killed. In a thriller, your protagonist hero is living the action, and they better be living the action or it's not a very good thriller. In a mystery, you have a small circle of suspects that shrink. You say, okay, this person couldn't do it because of, again, intellect, and they are removed from the pool. In a thriller, it's the opposite. The hero protagonist has their mundane world destroyed. They suddenly become part of this much larger world where they are being drawn into the machinations of individuals and or organizations with power way beyond what they're capable of dealing with. Hero protagonist in a thriller is often being pursued by forces they can barely understand. Many people say, but both a mystery and a thriller is a pursuit story. That is true. In a mystery, it is the protagonist hero who is doing the pursuing, whereas in a thriller, the hero protagonist is being pursued. In a mystery, you have clues. These must be discovered. In a thriller, you have surprises. They're often not pleasant. In a mystery, information is withheld. In a thriller, information is given. The relevance of that information is up to your hero protagonist to determine what is to be believed, what isn't to be believed. This is very similar in both a mystery and a thriller. In a mystery, the tools we often employ are red herrings, false clues, and misdirection. In a thriller, you have cycles of distrust, you have sense of betrayal. It is unclear in a thriller who is friend and who is foe. The hero protagonist in a thriller has to determine who they can trust and are often betrayed. That's part of the cycle of how a thriller builds its suspense. Number 11. In a mystery, the protagonist takes power. They come in, they're the detective, they're going to solve the mystery. In a thriller, the protagonist is the victim. I already covered that. In a mystery, the reader is usually 2 steps behind the detective or protagonist. In a thriller, the reader is usually 2 steps ahead of the hero protagonist. In a mystery, the story question is you solve for X. Who killed the victim? who stole the item. You're always trying to solve the mystery of X. Who is the perpetrator? In a thriller, the story question is, will your hero protagonist survive? Will they make it? And survival doesn't necessarily mean will they be killed. It could also mean will they... Oh, that was 13. Well, here's at 14. 14 is the end. Both a mystery and a thriller seek to have justice for a satisfying ending. The ending of a mystery, one of two things has happened. Justice has been restored to the good place, or justice has been brought to the bad place. A good place would be your classic cozy, where you have the English village or the country village, and there's been a murder that disrupts everything, and then the evildoer is got, and the community is back to being safe again. With the big bad place, it would be like the underbelly of the dark city. Think of your noirs, where you have Humphrey Bogart bringing justice back over the death of Marlowe, his partner in the Maltese Falcon. Or think of any of your Spencer for Hires, or any of those styles of films or books. When you're thinking of justice for a thriller, think of the ending of The Firm. Not only does our main character keep his license to be a lawyer, but he has money put aside and he has an insurance policy so they can't come after him. Meanwhile, he's turned the clients against the management of the firm. Justice. They're very distinctly different, and yet they're both the same. Sometimes you've finished your novel or you've watched the movie and you go, I don't know, it was good up until, and then the ending sucked, and you're not sure why, because justice wasn't achieved. The whole goal of both the mystery and the thriller is for justice. In a mystery, the results of justice come from the intellect solving the problem, and it is not necessarily laws being obeyed. Usually someone gets their comeuppance that needs to. In the thriller, justice is achieved through the emotional sense of safety, and the hero protagonist made it. Also, they tend to get something back from it, a boon of some kind. Puzzle, thriller, nightmare. Mystery, the protagonist takes power. In a thriller, the protagonist is powerless. A mystery is considered a myth, if you look at the structural way it's built, and a thriller is considered a fairy tale. In a mystery, the detective has skills. The hero protagonist in a thriller learns skills. Mystery, thinking, the intellect. Thriller, emotional. Mystery, most of the action is primarily off stage. In a thriller, we're living the action with our hero protagonist. Mystery suspects, the pool shrinks. Hero, their world is destroyed and gets expanded. Mystery is clues. A thriller is surprises, usually not good ones. Mystery, you withhold information. A thriller, you give information. Mystery, 2 steps behind the hero protagonist. In a thriller, you're 2 steps ahead of the hero protagonist. Story question is different. In a mystery, it's who did X, who was the murderer, who stole the object, etc. In a thriller, it's will my hero protagonist survive? You have suspects in a mystery. You have betrayers in a thriller. In a mystery, you have the use of red herrings, too much information, false clues, misdirection. In a thriller, you have circles of distrust, unclear who is friend and who is foe. And there's the ending, the satisfaction that justice is achieved through logic and reason, solving the mystery in a mystery, and in a thriller, it is survival of the hero protagonist and justice being brought onto some of those, or at least one of those who've brought this disaster into their life. I hope that's helped some of you. I hope that this information has clarified the difference between a mystery and a thriller, and perhaps helped you with your own writing projects, especially if you're finding they're not working. This is Story Tyrant. Remember, story comes first.